Good morning everybody. I am Dr. Chitra, Professor Department of ECE, and I am here to present a topic on Introduction to Communication Systems, and I will be proceeding with modulation and its types. So let us have an introduction to communication system. Actually, what communication is? So communication is a process of transferring information from one point to another. So whereas here information refers to, it may be a voice, which we call it as sound, or else it may be an image which can be transmitted, or else it may be a data which we call it as zeros and ones. This is what we can call it as an information. Whereas communication system actually is the devices which are used for communicating the information from one part to the or one point to the other. Whereas these blocks can be combined together and we call it as the basic block diagram to represent a communication system. So the basic block diagram consists of the first block, it has here source. So from the source information will be generated and it will be given to the next block, whereas the next block will be a transmitter. So from the transmitter information will be given into a medium, whereas here we have a medium in which noise may be added from the medium. So from the medium informations will be given to a receiver, whereas we have a receiver at the receiving end. From the receiver information will be given into your destination. So this is the basic block diagram of your communication system. So here if we check the first block, here combinedly first block plus second block, that is the source and transmitter, combinedly it forms a sender side. So totally this will be called as the sender, and the center part, that is this part will be called as a medium, and the other part which combines the receiver and the destination, totally this will be called as the receiver. Whereas here the first block source, this block will generate information. So it is called as a generator of information. So it generates information. As I told you, information may be of any type, which may be a voice, which may be image, or else it may be a data. So here information that is generated from the source will be given into your transmitter. Whereas here inside this transmitter we have many blocks. Number one block here will be a filter. From the filter, signal will be given into a device which is called as a modulator. So this will be the two blocks that will be present in a transmitter. Whereas modulator we will discuss later, and from the source whatever the signal we have which is in the form of voice or else if it is image, it cannot be transmitted as it is. Whereas this signal must be converted into an electrical signal, whereas it can be transmitted through a medium. So voice must be converted into an electrical signal which can be carried through a wire or else through a wireless medium. So here we need a component which will be called as a transducer. So a transducer will convert one form of energy into the other form. So here we have a transducer which converts our voice signals into an electrical signal, and this electrical signal will be transmitted through our transmitter, whereas we have a filter which will remove all unwanted signals, and it will be given into a modulator which we will discuss later, and this will be given into a medium. Whereas here a medium, we have two types of medium. Number one, it can be a wired medium or else it can be a wireless medium. If it is a wired medium, example for a wired medium is we can have a coaxial cable or else we can have an optical fiber cables. This is an example for wired medium. If it is a wireless medium, it can be air. Air can be taken as an example for a wireless medium. So here compared to our medium, whenever we transmit a signal, for example if I am talking, this is my signal which I am transmitting. Whereas the receivers who are there, the persons who are sitting at the other end, they are termed as receivers. So while I transmit a signal from the transmitter and give it into a receiver, in between we have a medium, whereas here air is taken as a medium. So in air we have noise. For example, we have an AC here, we have a light here, we have a fan here. Whatever the sound that is generated from our AC, from our fan, from our light will be taken as noise here, and noise will be added along with our signal here. So at the receiving end if we check, we have to remove all these unwanted signals. So at the receiving end, again we have a block in this. The first block here will be taken as a filter, which removes all unwanted signals which are carried out from your medium here, and this will be filtered and the signal will be given into a device which is called as a demodulator. So here at the transmitting end, if we have a modulator, at the receiving end, the reverse process of modulation will be done, which is called as a demodulation process. So after demodulation, the signal will be directly given into your destination. So whereas here, the signal what we are receiving here will be an electrical signal, whereas that must be converted to voice again. So here also we have a transducer, whereas this transducer again converts our electrical signal into voice signal, whereas we will receive the same voice signal at the receiving end. So actually this is the basic block diagram of your communication system. So while transmitting all these signals, how a signal can be represented? So generally we have two type of signals. Signal number one, which is called as an analog signal. So signals, it can be represented as two types. Number one, we have an analog signal, we have a digital signal. So what is an analog signal and what is a digital signal? Actually, analog signal is, it can be represented. For example, this can be taken as an analog signal. So one axis will be taken as the time axis and the other axis will be taken as the amplitude axis, which will be represented in ohms. So here the unit for time, it is taken as t and we have amplitude here. So whenever we check, for each and every instant of time there will be a change in amplitude. That is what we call it as continuous change in amplitude. That is what we call it as an analog signal. So it is a continuous change in amplitude signal. It is a continuous signal. Whereas if it is digital signal, the same signal, if it is digital, it will be represented like this. Whereas here if you check, for a particular duration of time, amplitude remains constant. Right? So here for a particular duration from 0 to t, amplitude of the signal remains constant. Whereas for the next duration of time, if you check, the amplitude remains constant. This is what we call it as a digital signal, which may be represented as ones and zeros. So here everything is represented in terms of voltages. That is electrical signal. That is why we call it as a signal here. So here, how a signal can be represented? So representation of a signal. So we are going to deal with analog signals here. So how an analog signal can be represented? It is represented as V of t, which will be equal to. So here V of t represents the voltage V, which is with respect to time. So voltage varies for each and every instant of time. That is why we have it as V of t. V of t will be equal to V. For example, if this is our signal, here we can say the maximum amplitude in the positive direction as capital V and maximum amplitude in the negative direction as minus V. So here the signal can be represented as V of t is equal to V, the maximum amplitude, into, it is a sine signal, so sinusoidal signal. So we are writing it as sine. It may be omega t plus theta. This is how a signal will be represented. Whereas here V stands for the amplitude of the signal, that is the maximum amplitude of the signal, and omega represents the angular frequency of the signal, and theta represents the phase of the signal. This is how we are representing. So according to this signal, if we check, this can be rewritten as V of t will be equal to V, it remains the same, sine. Instead of omega, it can be written as 2 pi f plus theta. Whereas for this signal starts at the 0 point, so this theta can be taken as 0 here, whereas this is your angle. So here, where omega can be represented as omega, it is equal to 2 pi f, where f is called the frequency of the signal. If it is omega, omega is called as angular frequency and f is termed as the frequency of the signal. Relation between omega and f is omega is equal to 2 pi f. This is how a signal can be represented. So coming into the term, what is modulation? So modulation is classified into two types as analog modulation and digital modulation. Whenever the signal deals with, we are dealing with an analog signal, it is called as analog modulation, and if we deal with the digital signals, it is called as digital modulation. So here, let us start with analog modulation techniques. So first let us discuss what is modulation. So the principle which we are using for modulation. So the principle is, we will be using two signals here, two analog signals, that is continuous signals. Number one signal, it is called as the modulating signal. And the second signal which we are using, it is called as the carrier signal. So one signal will be called as the modulating signal and the next signal will be called as the carrier signal. These are the two signals which we are going to use, right? So example, let us take, if I am talking with my voice, right? It can reach a distance, let me say it is D. So if I want to cover more distance, right? So I have to increase my volume. So increase my voice. So voice can be increased so that the distance of coverage can be increased a little more. Whereas if I need to cover this whole college which is said to be PSNDA, I cannot speak and cover this college, right? So I have to do something so that this voice signal can cover more distance, right? That is what we are going to do in modulation, in which we use a carrier signal and we are going to change the properties of this signal and we are going to make it to travel over long distance. That is what we call it as modulation. For example, let us have a practical example. An example is, let us have a parcel service. That is a courier which carries parcel. So I have a gift with me, right? I am in Dindigul, whereas I have to send this parcel to Chennai, whereas my friend is in Chennai. If I want to send this parcel to Chennai, I can go give it to him. Whereas instead of going giving my parcel to him, I can make some other arrangement so that this parcel reaches him. Right? One way of giving this parcel to my friend at Chennai is I can use a courier service. Right? So my gift which I am having as a parcel can be given in Dindigul courier office. Whereas this courier office will receive my parcel. Whereas my parcel alone will not be given to Chennai. Right? Whereas many parcels will be collected. Whatever parcels are coming to this courier office will be collected together. And based on the number of parcels, we have a carrier. So the carrier, it may be a van, it may be a car, it may be a bus, it may be a train, whatever it is, right? Based on the number of parcels, if my parcel is less, we will be using a car. If number of parcels are more in number, we will be using a van, whatever it is, right? So my parcel will also be carried here and it will be carried to Chennai. Whereas at Chennai, we have a courier office here. This Chennai courier office will be receiving all this parcel with the help of this carrier. So from this carrier, all parcels will be removed out and my parcel will be taken and it will be given to my friend. Whereas here, if we check, the matter what I have, it is there in my parcel, it is in my gift, right? Whereas here, it is carried with the help of a carrier. Whereas this carrier, it is just taking my signal and it is giving. Whereas it doesn't change, it doesn't open my parcel and check what is there. It is given into the next courier office. Whereas at the next courier office, it is taken, it is given to my friend. Whereas my friend will be opening and he will be receiving the message. So here we have a carrier. Likewise, here also while transmitting our signal, we have two signals. One may be taken as a modulating signal, which is our voice signal which we have to transmit. So this modulating signal acts as a parcel here. Whereas this carrier signal, it is nothing but the van, bus or else car which we are using for a carrier. So the carrier signal, with the help of this carrier signal, we are going to check this, transfer this modulating signal to the receiving end. Whereas the characteristics of a modulating signal is, it is a voice signal which has a low frequency. So low frequency signals are not able to travel over longer distance. That is why we are using a carrier, whereas a carrier has a characteristics which is of a high frequency signal. So these two signals will be combined together and it will be transmitted over long distance. So this is how it works, that is modulation works. So the definition of modulation. So how modulation can be defined? So defining modulation, it is the process of So it is the process of changing. We are going to change. What we are going to change is, we are going to change any one characteristics. That is, any one characteristics. Characteristics of what we are going to change? Characteristics of the carrier signal. We are going to change only the carrier. So as I told you in this example, here, based on the number of parcels, only the carrier can be changed. It may be a bus, it may be a car, whatever it is. Whereas we are not going to change the parcel, right? Parcel remains as it is, we will be changing only the carrier. So here also we are going to change the characteristics of the carrier. So carrier signal, process of changing the carrier signal in accordance with change in amplitude of the modulating signal. So this is the definition of modulation. So here we say that any one characteristics. So what are all the characteristics that can be changed? So while representing, I told you a signal, V of t will be equal to B sin 2 pi f t plus theta. Actually, this is how a signal will be represented. Whereas here, if we check, we have the first parameter which will be amplitude. Whereas the second parameter or second characteristics what we have, it is called as frequency. The third characteristics which we have, it is theta, which is the phase. So these are the three characteristics which are taken into account, and here any one characteristics can be changed. That is, any one characteristics of the carrier signal can be changed. So here, based on this characteristics, we have classified modulation into three types as amplitude modulation, which can be represented as AM. Number 2, frequency modulation, which is termed as FM. And number 3, we have phase modulation, which is termed as PM. So here, as I told you, we are going to change any one characteristics. Here, instead of this any one characteristics, if we say that it is amplitude. So your definition is the process of changing the amplitude of the carrier signal in accordance with the change in amplitude of the modulating signal is called as amplitude modulation. Right? So instead of one characteristics, any one characteristics, the characteristics may be changed as amplitude, so that will be the definition for amplitude modulation. Likewise, the process of changing, instead of amplitude, if we are making it as frequency, right? So here it will be frequency of the carrier signal in accordance with the change in amplitude of the modulating signal. That will be the definition for frequency modulation. And instead of any one characteristics, if we are making it as phase, that will be the definition for phase modulation. Whatever the definition we are writing, the process of changing the amplitude. If we are changing the amplitude, what will happen to the other parameters, that is frequency and phase. So here, while writing this, we have to say that the other parameters, the other characteristics remains constant. Remains constant. So once if we say that we are changing the amplitude of the signal, then frequency and phase will remain constant. Whereas if we say that it is FM, frequency will be changed, whereas amplitude and phase remains constant. If it is phase modulation, amplitude and phase will remain, amplitude and frequency will remain constant, whereas phase alone will be changed. This is the definition for AM, FM and PM. So let us move with amplitude modulation. What is amplitude modulation? How a basic definition, basic equation for an AM signal can be derived. How an AM signal can be represented. Amplitude modulation, how it can be represented, that is AM. whereas AM can also be called as DSB-FC, that is double sideband full carrier. That I tell you why it is named so. So here to derive the basic expression, let us consider the modulating signal. So first let us have your modulating signal, whereas the modulating signal can be represented with the help of an equation, whereas it is represented as Vm of t, which is equal to Vm sin omega m into t. Whereas we will be making it as plus theta. Since it is amplitude modulation, we can say that frequency and phase remains constant. So since it is constant, we are eliminating this theta, and if needed at the final stage we can add this theta to our equation. Let this equation be the first equation. Let us have the second equation, which can be your carrier signal. So carrier signal can be represented as Vc of t, which is equal to Vc sin omega c into t. Let this be the second equation. So this is our modulating signal and this is our carrier signal. According to the definition of AM. So according to the definition of AM, we are going to say that amplitude of the modulated signal will be changed, right? So we are going to write this as the amplitude of the modulated signal, VAM, amplitude of the modulated signal is. We are going to change the carrier signal's amplitude, right? So this is the carrier signal's amplitude. It is to be changed. So it is to be changed in accordance with the amplitude of the modulating signal, whereas amplitude of the modulating signal is continuous. At every instant it is changing. So that this can be written as it is plus Vm of t. Since this is a continuous signal, we are making it as Vm of t. Let this be the third equation. So we know that we have an equation for Vm of t. So substitute the first equation in the third equation, so that Vam will be equal to Vc plus, instead of Vm of t, substitute this equation, so that this will be Vm sin omega m t, right? Whereas this is equal to, this can be written as, taking Vc as constant, this will be 1 plus Vm divided by Vc sin omega m into t. No doubt. Whereas this can be rewritten as, this is equal to Vc into 1 plus, instead of this we are making it as ma sin omega m into t. Whereas this equation can be made as our fourth equation, right? Whereas here, where ma will be equal to, this ma is equal to Vm divided by Vc, whereas this ma is called as modulation index. I'll tell you later what is modulation index, right? Whereas here, this is the amplitude of the modulated signal. Now we have to represent the modulated signal. So after modulation, how our signal will look like. So modulated signal can be represented as, so amplitude modulated signal. So an amplitude modulated signal can be represented as Vam of t. Since it is a signal, we are writing it as Vam of t, which will be equal to, we have a new amplitude which is represented as Vam. So this will be Vam sin, the same sine signal, whereas it is a carrier signal. Carrier signal's amplitude alone is changed. That is what we have changed here. Whereas frequency of the carrier signal remains the same. So here we have the same frequency which is there for a carrier signal, which will be sin omega ct. So let us have this as a, this is our fourth equation. Let us have this as a fifth equation, right? So here, which will be equal to, can we substitute, instead of Vm, can we substitute our fourth equation here? So substituting equation number 4 in equation number 5, we get Vam of t will be equal to, it is equal to, instead of VAM, substitute this equation there, which will be VC into 1 plus MA sin omega MT into, this term will be here, which is sin omega CT, right? Whereas this equation can be expanded and it can be written as, this is equal to, VAM of T will be equal to, multiply this, we will be getting VC sin omega CT plus MA. We will be getting these terms here, which will be MA VC into sin omega CT into sin omega M into T. Right? Whereas this equation can be written as VAM of T will be equal to. So here we have the same term VC sin omega CT. So rewrite this, which will be VC sin omega CT plus this will be MA VC as it is. So we can make it as MA VC. Whereas we can use the formula for sin A sin B. So that this equation is made as cos of omega C minus omega M into T minus cos of omega C plus omega M into T. Whereas we have here by 2. Since sin A sin B will have the formula sin A sin B is equal to cos of A minus B minus cos of A plus B divided by 2. This is the formula which we have used here. So this will be your term. Whereas finally VAM of T can be written as it is equal to VC sin omega CT plus MA VC by 2 into cos of omega C minus omega M into T minus, if you multiply this you will be getting MA VC by 2 into cos of omega C plus omega M into T. Whereas this will be the final equation to represent our AM signal. This is how an amplitude modulated signal can be represented. So number 1 term here, if you check, we have this as our first term, this is our second term, and this will be our third term. Whereas this first term, if you check the second equation which we have written, right, VC of T will be equal to VC sin omega CT. That will be the second equation, whereas this is nothing but a carrier signal. So this term is called as a carrier signal, right? Whereas this term is taken as our lower sideband. So this will be called as our lower sideband, and the third term will be called as our upper sideband. So here it is upper sideband. So instead of making it as lower sideband, we will be calling it as LSB, and instead of calling it as upper sideband, we will be using USB. So these are the 3 terms which we are using to represent our AM signal. So how an AM signal can be represented with the help of a frequency spectrum, right? So to represent the signal with the help of a frequency spectrum. So actually what frequency spectrum is? So it is a graphical representation, or else if we are drawing a graph relating frequency spectrum is a graph which is drawn between frequency and amplitude. So frequency will be taken in one axis and amplitude will be taken in the other axis. That is what we frequency spectrum. So here let us draw a graph relating to frequency and amplitude. Here we have the amplitude. Frequency spectrum, it is the graph between frequency and amplitude of a signal. So here if we check, we have frequency in one axis and amplitude in the other axis. So let us check the equation of a modulated signal. Here we have the first term. So this first term, in this first term, if we check what is the frequency and what will be the amplitude. So if we check the frequency here, angular frequency is omega C. So our frequency of the signal will be Fc. Whereas amplitude, if we check in this equation, it is Vc. That is the first term. And the second term, if we check, the frequency of the signal is Fc minus Fm. So the frequency can be taken as Fc minus Fm. M. Whereas here the amplitude of the signal is MAVC by 2. So here it is MAVC by 2. Whereas in the next term, here if we check the frequency of the signal is omega C plus omega M. So here we can make it as FC plus FM, and here the amplitude is MAVC by 2 again. So here also it is MAVC by 2. So we can plot this in our graph, whereas here let me extend this. So we have a frequency. So let me erase this so that with the help of this we will be drawing this graph. So here if we check frequency, it is taken as Fc, which will be the center frequency. Here we can take it as Fc. Whereas Fc has an amplitude of Vc. So let us have this amplitude, which will be represented as Vc. Whereas the next frequency here is Fc minus Fm. So Fc minus Fm will lie somewhere here. So it is Fc minus Fm. Whereas it has an amplitude of MAVC by 2. So it is MAVC by 2. I will tell you why the amplitude is less compared to that of Vc here. So the next term here, it is Fc plus Fm. So if it is Fc plus Fm, it will be somewhere here, which will be Fc plus Fm with an amplitude of, if you check the amplitude, it is also MAVC by 2. So here also the amplitude is MAVC by 2. So here if we check the amplitude of at the center is Vc, whereas here the amplitude is less compared to that of the center frequency, which is by 2. So it is always less. Even then, modulation index has a value which is always less than 1. This is the condition for modulation index. So since this is less than 1, definitely this will be less than 1, which is multiplied by Vc, and if it is divided by 2, definitely it will be having an amplitude which will be less than Vc. That is why we are drawing a frequency spectrum like this with an amplitude which is Vc, and the sideband's amplitude will be always less than Vc. So how amplitude modulated signal can be graphically represented. So while representing our signal, how we can represent our signal graphically, that is the modulating signal, everything. So here let us represent our signal. The first signal, let us take it as a modulating signal. So we have a time axis, we have an amplitude axis here. So let us have the first signal as our modulating signal. That is our input signal, which is termed to be a voice signal. That is the modulating signal, which is of low frequency. So here let us represent our signal with the constant amplitude, whereas the amplitude is taken as Vm. That is plus Vm. This will be minus Vm. Let us have this time for one cycle. Let us take it like this. So this is how our signal will be represented. Only one cycle is taken here. So next let us have our carrier signal, which is represented like this. So here it is our carrier signal. As I told you, carrier signal has a higher frequency compared to that of a modulating signal. So if we have one cycle within this period, since carrier signal it is of higher frequency, more number of cycles must be represented here. So let us have this half cycle period. So here let us have a carrier signal here, which has a constant amplitude. Amplitude of our carrier signal will be taken as plus Vc here, and it is minus Vc. So that we can represent our carrier signal like this, whereas it has more number of cycles compared to that of our modulating signal. So this is our carrier signal. So drawing a modulated signal, how a modulated signal can be represented. So here let us take this as our time axis, and this will be a modulated signal, that is amplitude modulated signal will be represented. So here if we check, let us have a line which is said to be a V minimum. So likewise in the lower level also let us have a V minimum line, over which, so above this we have to place our modulating signal. So let us have an amplitude here, whereas this amplitude represents Vc. So from the zero line till Vc, we can have a line which will be taken as a reference, over which we will be placing your Vm. So let us have again a line here. So here after this, whatever the distance here we have, the same distance must be here, which will be again taken as minus Vc, over which we will be placing Vm. So here also we have this will be taken as a reference line, and over which we will be placing our Vm. So to check how we are going to draw this will be the maximum amplitude of the signal, this will be the zero crossing. So likewise if you come here, this will be your time axis, which will be your reference. So over this we are going to, this will be taken as your reference, and over this we will be drawing our signal here, right? So for half of your signal, it will be crossing your zero axis. If it is maximum here, this will be maximum. Whereas this is minimum here, we have a minimum here, and here at this point we have this. So this will be our signal, which is our modulated signal. So one half of our modulated signal. To represent the next half, let us make it like this. So this will be the zero level which crosses here, which will have a minimum here, and if you draw a signal, this will be our signal. So if you trace the signal, right, so this will be taken as your carrier, whereas the carrier must be the same signal which is as that of your, the frequency will be same as that of our carrier signal's frequency, right? So if we trace the envelope of the signal, this is actually the envelope. If we trace the envelope of the signal, so totally we will be getting the same envelope as if it is the modulating signal. So this is what we call it as, this will be called as our upper side band, whereas this will be called as our lower side band, and at the center we have our carrier signal. This is what we have represented in our equation, right? So this is the graphical representation of our modulated signal. So we have here word which is called as modulation index. So modulation index is represented as MA. So what actually modulation index is? Modulation index MA is equal to VM divided by VC. If we are defining this, it is nothing but the ratio between the amplitude of the modulating signal to the amplitude of the carrier signal. That is what we call it as modulation index. So modulation index always, it has a value which lies in between 0 and 1. So modulation index will have a value which is always less than 1. So that is what MA lies in between 0 and 1 here. So to represent modulation index in a different form, how it can be represented? Let us consider the same diagram here, whereas here from this point, from our time axis till this point, this will be taken as, this amplitude will be taken as VC. Whereas here the maximum amplitude, that is from this VC till the maximum, this will be taken as VM, because above VC, that is the center point of VC, we are placing VM here. So VM has an amplitude here, which is this. Whereas the next half of VM will be here. So this will be the center line over which from here till this it is again a VM. So this is one VM and this is the other VM. So totally we will be having positive half of your VM and negative half of your VM. So this is VM and this is VM. So here VM is there, this is actually VC, this is VC. So over VC we are placing this VM, modulating signal. So totally from this point till this point, that is from our zeroth line, that is T line, reference line till the maximum, we are making it as V maximum. So this will be your V maximum. Whereas from this zero line till the V minimum value, between this we call it as V minimum. Right? So we have a VM here. From VM, that is the minimum value of your modulating signal, to your reference line, we have a voltage. This is termed as V minimum. So we have V maximum, we have V minimum, we have VM and we have VC. So modulation index is represented, can be represented in terms of V maximum and V minimum. How it can be represented? So here if MA is equal to VM divided by VC. First find out what is VM, then find out what is VC. Everything in terms of V max and V minimum. Then substitute it in this equation and we can get the modulation index MA. So first let us find out what is VM. So here if we check, can we say that, what can we say while relating V maximum, V minimum and VM? How it can be represented? Can we say that this VM plus this VM plus V minimum will be equal to V maximum? So V maximum will be equal to 2VM plus, can we say that it is V minimum? So we have VM plus VM, that is 2VM plus V minimum. So that we will be getting it as V maximum. So from this can we find out what is V minimum, which will be equal to V max minus V minimum divided by 2, which will be equal to VM. Let us have this MA, modulation index, as a first equation. whereas this equation can be taken as a second equation. From this, find out what is VC in terms of Vmax and V minimum. So find out what is VC. If we check this is VC, can we say that Vmax minus Vm will be equal to VC? So VC will be equal to Vmax minus Vm will be equal to Vc. This is equal to, we know the equation for Vm here, which is our second equation. So substitute our second equation in third equation so that Vc will be equal to Vmax minus, instead of Vm substitute your equation which will be Vmax minus V minimum divided by 2. So if we simplify this equation, Vc will be equal to, this is 2 by Vmax minus Vmax plus V minimum. So 2 Vmax minus Vmax we will be getting Vmax. So Vmax, this will be multiplied, so we will be getting plus V minimum divided by 2. Let us have this as our fourth equation. So substituting second equation and fourth equation in our first equation, so that modulation index can be written as Ma will be equal to, so substituting third equation and fourth equation in first equation, we will be getting Ma will be equal to, instead of Vm, substitute this equation which will be Vmax minus V minimum divided by 2 divided by Vc. Vc is equal to Vmax plus V minimum by 2. So that is Vmax plus V minimum divided by 2, which will be equal to, Ma will be equal to Vmax minus V minimum divided by Vmax plus V minimum. So this is how modulation index can be represented in another form with the help of maximum voltage and minimum voltage. Here also if we check, here we have a maximum value, so always modulation index will be less than 1 here. So finally let us calculate the total power of an AM signal. So how total power can be calculated? So as I told you, amplitude modulation can also be called as DSB-FC. So double sideband full carrier. So here we have two sidebands, that is our lower sideband and our upper sideband. That is why we call it as double sideband, and it is full carrier. Carrier is also present there. That is why we call it as double sideband full carrier. So representation of power, to calculate the total power of an AM signal. So how total power can be calculated for an AM signal? So the equation for the basic equation of an AM signal can be represented as, let me reproduce the equation here. V AM of t will be equal to Vc sin omega ct plus Ma Vc by 2 into cos of omega c minus omega m into t minus Ma Vc by 2 into cos of omega c plus omega m into t. So actually this is the basic equation for an AM signal. So here we have the first term the carrier, the second term the lower sideband, and the third term the upper sideband. So let us take Pt as the total power. So total power is represented as Pt and Tc be the carrier power. So carrier power is represented as Pc and PLSB, it represents the lower sideband power. So power in lower sideband, and PUSB be the power in upper sideband. So it is the power in upper sideband. So here we have three terms, that is our carrier power. So here this is our total power. So Pt will be equal to, number one it is our carrier power. So it is Pc plus, the second term it is our lower sideband. So power in lower sideband plus, the next term is upper sideband. So it is power in upper sideband. So totally we are going to calculate the power in carrier, power in lower sideband, power in upper sideband, which will give us a total power. So here to calculate our power, generally we know that the general equation to calculate power is equal to V square divided by R. This is actual formula to calculate power. So while calculating power for a sinusoidal signal, so here if we calculate power for a sinusoidal signal, here we have V here, this will be minus V. So if you take the average of a signal, it will be equal to 0. So average of a sinusoidal signal will be equal to 0. So while calculating power, instead of using V here, the voltage as it is, we will be using VRMS, which is called as root mean square value. So while using a sinusoidal signal, instead of calculating the power with the help of a voltage as it is, we will be using VRMS. Whereas VRMS is nothing but VRMS is equal to the voltage divided by root 2. Why we are using this root 2 is only at this point power of any signal will be maximum. That is why we are using this point, which will be V divided by root 2. So here to calculate our power which is in our carrier signal, PC will be equal to, we have an equation V divided by root 2 for VRMS. So here it will be V divided by root 2 the whole square divided by R. So if we check our carrier power equation, here we have Vc as our amplitude. So we can write it as Vc divided by root 2 the whole square divided by R. So that we have a carrier power which will be equal to, it is Vc square divided by 2R. This will be our, let us have this as our first equation and let us have this as our second equation. So next to calculate our sideband power, that is lower sideband. Let us calculate our power in our lower sideband, which will be equal to. So which is equal to, here if we check, this is our amplitude, that is MA Vc by 2. Actually this must be divided by root 2 again. So divided by root 2 the whole square, totally it must be divided by R. So that we will be getting our lower sideband. So totally this is V. So here we have MAVC by 2. So MAVC by 2. To get an RMS value, we needed to divide it by root 2. So divided by root 2. So V RMS square divided by R will be taken as a power. So here divided by R. So which will be equal to MA square VC square divided by root 2 into 2 we will be getting 2 plus, into 2 square will be 4. So 4 into 2 we will be getting, it is 8R. Let us take this as our second equation. Likewise, if we are calculating as power for our upper sideband, so power in our upper sideband will be equal to, it has the same value MAVC by 2. So again if we substitute the same, we will be getting only this equation, which will be MA square VC square divided by 8R again, which will be our third equation. So substituting equation number 2, 3, 4, 2. This will be our third equation and this will be our fourth equation. 2, 3, 4 in our first equation. We will be getting PT will be equal to, PT is equal to, instead of PC we can have VC square divided by 2R plus third equation it is MA square VC square divided by 8R plus the fourth equation it is again MA square VC square divided by 8R again. So if we simplify this equation, we will be getting our equation as PT is equal to, so PT will be equal to, here VC square by 2R plus, here we have two terms, the same term, two terms will be there, so that this will be MA square VC square divided by, instead of 8R we will be getting 2 times, so it will be by 4R. Whereas this can be simplified and it can be written as VC square by 2R can be taken out and it can be written as 1 plus this VC is taken out, 2R is taken out, so this will be MA square divided by 2. So from this equation we can say that the total power PT is equal to VC square divided by 2R into 1 plus MA square by 2. Whereas this can be rewritten as PT is equal to, if you check the equation for PC, PC is equal to VC square divided by 2R. We have this equation here which is from our second equation. So from our second equation this can be written as, this is equal to, instead of this term we can substitute PC there. So it is equal to, PT is equal to PC into 1 plus MA square divided by 2. So this can be a final equation in which if we are substituting MA is equal to 1. If MA is taken as 1 here, total power PT will be equal to. So if you substitute 1 here, it is 1 by 2.5, that's 1, we will be getting 1.5 times of PC. So total power which we will be using for transmission will be equal to 1.5 times that of the carrier power. Whatever carrier power we are using, we have to use 1.5 times that of the carrier power for transmitting an